Good morning. So we are doing the Uddhav Gita, and we had stopped at verse 28 yesterday. So we are going to continue from verse 29 onwards. So if you recollect, yesterday we were talking about how the gunas, the five elements, how their combination along with Atma, Paramatma, their multiple permutation and combination create those different figures which were spoken of by the sages and the saints. Every person individualistically describes that this is the combination, this is the combination, or this is the combination. Some say it is 5, some say it is 7, some say it is 10. Like that, these are the different combinations by means of which the whole universe got created. Prakriti interacted. Now, with Purusha just looking on. So, this is what we understood. Purusha is just observing it, he is just a witness. He doesn't contribute much towards it, but without Purusha, nothing happens. So, now today we are going to do further than that. How do the gunas interact with the whole universe? How that happens? So, we will start from verse 29 today. We are doing Uddhav Gita, the last message of Sri Krishna. This is chapter 17, verse 29. The Lord said, O best of men, the Prakriti and the Purusha are entirely distinct entities. This projected universe is subject to modification, for it has sprung from the disturbance amongst the gunas. See, when we were talking about the Purusha just looking on, and the Prakriti, who is the mother, which we were describing yesterday, the mother universe, basically, she is Mother Nature. She handles everything. She is called Prakriti. She is also called Shakti because she provides the power, the energy, the requirements that are there for these five elements to interact with each other, creating different kinds of things. Like, say, for example, sound. Sound is created. Then light, right? The air, the wind produces the touch, so on and so forth. So there are various things that happen. Then the taste. So the water is involved in the taste. How does the taste come about? So when we take these into consideration, we were talking about the Prakriti doing all these things, isn't it? Now, Prakriti must be definitely having some kind of a structure by means of which she reacts. Now, you may think this is a very dry subject, but I will try to make it as wet as possible. So, let us see how it works. So, he says, O best of men, the Prakriti and the Purusha are entirely distinct entities. We should never mix these two together. They may come together, but they are not the same. Got it? They are not the same. It is like husband and wife, Shiva and Shakti, Purusha and Prakriti. Both cannot be combined together and say they are one. No, they are not one. They have their specific qualities and they have specific methods by means they work in this world. It may seem that there is no need of Purusha. I mean, everybody says, now what is the need of Purusha in this world? All that is so superfluous, you know. I am a woman. See the way how things are. I am a woman. I can live alone in this world. I don't need any Purusha in my life. I am capable of anything and everything. The man says, I don't give a damn to the woman. What does she think of herself? All this is just talk. It is hot air. Okay, end of the day, the man still needs a woman and the woman still needs a man. Okay, it is the basic requirement of this universe. So in the material world, this is how it works. And everything is driven by the main line over there, driven by desire. Remember how this universe came about? It was the desire which created this whole thing, isn't it? In your life also, the desire to be understood, the desire to be known in this world, the desire for people to acknowledge who you are, the desire to want company. I want company of someone, the desire not to be alone. I have to be with somebody. These are basic desires. And the fulfillment of the desires causes all these problems in our life. And these desires don't go away till the last minute of your life. The desire is always felt. Before I die, I want to eat this. Before I die, I have to see this place. Before I die, I want to get my children married. I want to see their grandchildren. These are the desires. And the desire is that one thing which keeps you locked in this universe forever. You are going to be born again and again and again and again because you have shown a desire to do something. I want to be so rich, I want so much of money that I don't have to bow down to anybody. Some people say, I want to eat so much of food that I will not have to beg for my food. Some people will say that I want so much of recognition in this world that every person when they look at, oh, you are so and so. The power of that, the desire to be recognized. See, it is because of the desire to be recognized that everybody wants to be in the forefront. They'll say, I'll do this, I'll do this, I'll do this so that I can do this. Did you understand the thread? The thread is, I want to do this. I will do this. The desire to be just left alone sometimes. I don't want anybody in my life. I hate everybody around. Everybody is so bad and useless. My boss is the worst character. My parents are bad. My husband is bad. My wife is bad. This is also there. The desire to be left alone, not to be interfered with. I don't want anybody to poke their dirty nose in my affairs. These are the basic lines which we hear. And that is the cause of misery. And that is the reason why a person is born again and again and again. Okay? So what happens? The universe says, oh, you want to be left alone? Okay? In the next life, I will make you a creature that the deep waters somewhere, or maybe I'll send you to Siberia as a Siberian fox. Siberian fox, he just roams and roams and roams and roams all over Siberia. He's alone. Maybe I'll make you into a bear if I want to sleep, that desire to sleep. So did you see all these desires, all these kind of activities, everything that we spoke of is the root cause of where we land up finally. Now did you understand? The projected universe is subject to modification, for it has sprung from the disturbance amongst the gunas. The gunas are there, they disturb. And when they get disturbed, everything happens in a particular manner. Do you get what I'm saying? Why does a person need to do something? Because of the desire. And because of the desire, he has to attempt something. If a person is left alone even for a few minutes, he gets very fidgety. Fidgety to such a level that they don't want to be left alone. So he will try to find out, oh, are you there? Are you there? Are you there? He will keep on going into his phone, looking at the messages, trying to think of, well, now if there is nobody available, let me look at my pictures. So he has got a repository of pictures in his phone. So he'll just expand them, look at them, do something with it. And there are so many things nowadays around where a person keeps on doing things because he cannot sit in one place without getting disturbed. Disturbances in the gunas. Did you notice it? A man who is driven by certain things is creating another life for himself. Think about it. A person who wants to sleep. You see, do you know in nowadays, a person says, I don't get sleep. I don't get sleep. They keep on saying these words constantly. I am really trying very hard, but I can't go to sleep. I can't go to sleep. I can't go to sleep. Why? Well, I think it is because all these thoughts are coming to me. That is the reason why I can't sleep. I'll give you some explanation for that. Let us say you are drinking coffee. Okay. Now, when you drink coffee, there is caffeine in it, then there are lots of these high kicking, elements in it. They kick you and they keep you awake. So, if you have even a portion of it in your blood, little portion, it is like this. If I drink coffee at 6 p.m. in the evening, because I love coffee. What is that? Oh, I just love coffee, I'll take a little coffee. So you drink coffee in the evening at 6 o'clock. The coffee is in your system for nearly 12 hours. 12 hours. The effect of it will come down by 11 o'clock. 11 or 12 in the night. But those eyes will be wider like this. Why? Because there is a one particular element inside your brain that doesn't get released. It says the body wants to be very active. See, that is why this substance is there in my blood. So the melatonin release is not happening. Melatonin is a kind of a drug which is released so that you can fall asleep. But it is not allowing it to come out. So you're doing this constantly. And then on top of it all, you're looking at your phone. So when you keep on looking at your phone, even when you have fallen in bed and you are still looking at the phone, remember what you do. Because the phone has got a blue light in it. You're looking at the phone and scrolling. The blue light, it creates an impression in the brain that it is still daylight. So where is this melatonin going to come? So this is a major issue which nobody understands. So you have to see to it that you do not flood your blood or your body with that. So I just give you one example. There are various examples like this which can create disturbances in your system. I can tell you, human beings, they think that this is how, why is this happening to me? You are responsible for it. You don't have a simple lifestyle, you have a complicated lifestyle. I'm so depressed, I don't know what I'm going to do. Today, when you're sitting at home, you're depressed more than ever. Last 1 year, I have not gone out anywhere. No holiday, nothing. You're sitting at home and you're saying you have not taken a holiday? Sir, last 10 months you are doing nothing. It is literally like a holiday. And yet, on top of it, you are saying, I have not taken a holiday. I want to do something with my life. I want to go somewhere. So, when you want to go somewhere, what are you going to do? Oh, I'm going to take a deep swim, and then I'm going to just laze around and I'm just going to enjoy. You can do the same thing where you are. Anybody stopped you from that? No. But you have definitive ideas that I have to go to that place. I have to go to Goa. Goa for what? So that I can take a holiday, I'll drink full day. Okay? See the whole thing. Huh? I will drink, I'll go to the beach, I will enjoy the beach, I will go bring my half pants and that ganji type of shirt, and I will just roam around. Oh, you want to be a naked fellow? Already you are naked at home, sir. Half of the time you are not wearing any clothes only. See, when you go to work, you have to wear at least some decent clothes and go to work. Here you are sitting at home. You are not even wearing anything. Okay? Most of the people are in their half clothes, They just wear the casual type of clothes. You want to drink? All your bars are open. I mean, wherever you buy your liquor is open. You go and buy those 100 bottles if you want. What are you talking about? The sun, go sit upstairs in your terrace. You'll get enough sun. What else are you looking for? Did you see how the mind reacts to all these things? Mind creates situations. Creates. And these situations are created in such a manner that you wish you were somewhere else. You wish this person was not with me. Wish, wish, wish. Root cause is desire. Did you get the whole thing together? Everything is desire driven. And this is what is causing so much of problem. So, the Purusha and the Prakriti are separate. The more projected universe, this is not a real universe at all. It's a projected universe. Because it's only like, in a theater, everything is projected on the screen. So like that, imagine this is a screen. This whole world is a screen. You are just a projection on it. You came in at a certain time and after some time you will go away. Finished, gone. Where are you, sir? Which place are you now in? Before birth, where were you? I don't know. After death, where will you be? I don't know. So you don't know? See the whole point? So you are like a projection. And this projected universe is subject to modification. It keeps on changing because of it has sprung from a disturbance among the gunas. The disturbance in the gunas creates these problems. Now, when there is sattva in a person, I want to be good. I want to be very nice. I have to see to it that I do this. What? That is egotism. People actually don't realize the difference between I am a sattvic person, I eat only healthy food. I am a vegan. I am a vegetarian. I never touch meat in my life. Is that so? Half of the ingredients which you are eating are non-veg. You don't even know. Everything that you eat and drink, half of it is contaminated. And nobody knows. This is the whole point. So the egoistic person, the sattvic person believes he is sattvic. I read this. I do the Gayatri mantra. I get up early in the morning. I do this. I do this. I do this. The Rajasic person is driven by his greed. I want this like this only. Who are you to tell me what I should do and not do? Don't you know who I am? This is how they work. The Tamasic person, ek rakh ke dega main tumko. I'll give you one tight slap. They are basically looking at breaking, beating and doing all kinds of things. And they would rather not do anything, in that peaceful manner. They would rather go destroy things before they want to do it. Do you know मैं किसको उसको जानता हूँ? Do you know whom I know? I know this fellow, I know that fellow. Oh, this is that ego which comes in. And these modifications are going to happen. Sattva to Rajas, Rajas to Tamas, it's continuously happening. Okay, so I hope you got this. So let us get on with this thing. We are going to expand further on this. In the next four verses, this is going to expand. So we will do the next verse. Okay, we are doing chapter 17 from the Uddhav Gita, verse 30 now. My friend, my inscrutable power, consisting of the gunas, creates through these gunas innumerable modifications and ideas relating thereto. Even though subject to all sorts of modification, yet the universe is broadly speaking threefold. One pertaining to the body, another to the gods, and the third to the creatures. He says, my friend is addressing Uddhava. My inscrutable power. This is the power of the Lord. He just makes you think that it is your job. You are doing everything. You don't understand. It is very simply like this. You are like, have you seen a maze? A maze. There is a maze. Or have you seen cows being herded towards something? They are put in two narrow walls, one wall here and one wall here. And the cow is only supposed to go either in front or behind. Now it has got its head in front. Which side it will go? In front only. So the cows keep on going ahead. It's like a railway line. The railway line is there. There are two rails there and the train is on top of it. The train can only move this way or behind. That's it. It cannot go sideways. Did you understand? So your life is like that. You are stuck up in that thing. You're driven by entities. You don't actually understand this. Do you know who is driving you? The inscrutable nature, which is the gunas. They are actually driving you. And which side you will go? Front or back? That's it. You are like that herd of cows or the railway track where the train has to go in front or back. You can't go anywhere else. You are driven to that. सामने जाओ नहीं तो नीचे जाओ. Either you go in front or you go down. You get derailed, you know that, no? You get derailed from the train. Where can that cow go which is herded in that narrow space? Only forward. This is the problem. And forward when they go. That is the whole point. So this is where the whole issue comes. He says, consisting of the gunas. My inscrutable power. He says, my inscrutable power. You can't even understand from any point of view how this power works. It is driven. You are being driven literally in front. You have to keep on moving. You can't say, I'm going to just sit over here. Do nothing. You will be driven to do something. It consists of the gunas, creates through these gunas innumerable modification and ideas relating thereto. So many modifications happen. Think, you are just sitting over there and you are thinking, I am not going to do anything. I'm just going to sit over here. You really think you are not going to do anything? You don't understand the power, that inscrutable power of Maya, sir. Your mind is like a atom bomb. It is going to go places you can't even think of. I will tell you something. When you are going somewhere, when you are walking, you are reaching some destination. Let us say you are going from here to another 6 kilometers from here to that place. You have to reach that destination. When you are going to reach, you are only driven by the idea, I have to reach there, I have to reach there, I have to reach there, I have to reach there. Correct? See, You're going at what rate? You will reach there in 1 hour. Okay, let us say you're going to reach a place in 1 hour. 6 kilometers, 1 hour. Okay, so you're going to walk 6 kilometers in 1 hour. Very good. At what rate are you going? So did you understand? 6 kilometers per hour. That is all. And what are you doing? You're just walking to reach that place. Now, your rate is 6 kmph. Now, you sit in one place. Don't do anything. Just sit in one place. And don't do anything. Say, I am not going to do anything. I'm just going to sit here and just do nothing. And then what happens? In less than a minute's time, your mind starts to wander. You can reach over hundreds and thousands of kilometers in 1 hour. Suppose you are staying in Chennai. Your mind has already reached Bangalore. Like this, it has reached. Oh, Bangalore, my parents, my brother, my sister, my husband, my wife, what are they doing? Did you see what is the rate at which you ran? Huh? Suppose distance between Bangalore and Mysore, Bangalore and Chennai is 300 kilometers. You reach 300 kilometers in 1 second. And now I will tell you something. My parents, 25 years ago, they had done this. And this was happening. Instead of giving this thing to me, they gave it to somebody else. From that 300 kilometers, now it has traveled 25 years backwards. Did you understand these two walls are there? Time and space. You are driven straight. Between time and space, you are driven straight by this inscrutable power of Maya. Sitting in one place, you have traveled millions of miles. Whereas if you are going from one place to another, you have just walked 6 kilometers per hour. And your thinking was only, I have to reach there, I have to reach there, I have to reach there. That's it you were thinking. Which is better? You ask yourself which is better. Doing that job of walking is better, or sitting in one place and reaching millions of miles and years? Which is better? Sitting in one place, is it? So now do you understand? An empty mind is a devil's workshop. If you do work, you are focused in the work. Your mind is not going to do anything else except work. This is Rajasic in nature. Sitting in one place and reaching millions of miles by doing nothing. It is Tamasic in nature. Did you get this too? You are walking, you are doing your morning walk or jogging or running or doing whatever that you are doing, or you are going from one place to the other. Yes, you are just going from one place to the other. Think about going to the airport. You have a flight to catch or going to the railway station. You have to catch that train, you have to catch that plane. The only thought going on in your mind, I have to reach the airport, I have to reach the airport, I have to reach the airport. That's it. An airport might be 30 kilometers away and you are going by Uber or Ola or whatever. You understand? Your Uber and Ola is going at what rate? You will reach in 1 hour's time in that 30 kilometers or 25 kilometers, correct? So you have traveled only 25 kilometers per hour. That's it. Whereas, when you sit and do nothing, You travel millions of kilometers, and on top of it, so many years backwards or forward. You will ask me, forward, how is that? I don't have any money. I have to pay my EMIs. I don't know how I'm going to do. This property which I bought, I don't know exactly how I'm going to do it. And then my children's education has to be done. I have to think about my. You are already thinking about retirement. Sitting in one place, you are thinking of retirement. You are thinking of insurance. You are thinking of EMIs. You are thinking of premiums. You are thinking of a job. You are thinking so many things have gone forward in time. So time and space is driving you, or backward in time. Hey, they did this to me. They did that to me. Why are they doing like this? So that is called tamas. Sitting in one place and just thinking. And doing a little work, it is rajasic because it is activity based. Now we come to the third one, sattvic. A person is only interested in God. He does good things. He's not bothered about himself. He's bothered about the other person. Other person, I have to help the world. People are hungry. I have to pack so many packets of food. So I will pack 200 packets of food today. I have got this 20,000 rupees somebody has given. I will pack this food today. I have to go to the temple also. And the person keeps on thinking about God most of the time. He is sattvic in nature. And when a person is sattvic in nature, he is getting the work done not for himself, but for the other people. Others does not mean, again here I will make the modification. Others do not mean your own relatives or your own self. No. Not your friends and relatives and all. No. Other people means unknown people. You're doing something for the world. You are going to get the benefits for it. You are going to get the benefits for it because those people will thank you. If you are giving the food packets to say 200 people, they are going to thank you. Right? Oh, I have a surgery just now. I have to only think about that person's health. Okay. So that person will thank you when he recovers. So did you get the whole idea? It is more sattvic in nature. And now, is the sattva not going to keep you in the trap? All those 200 people are going to thank you. Can they repay you? No, they will not repay you because they do not have the wherewithal to repay. These are homeless people whom you gave food packets. Okay? Food packets were distributed to homeless people. They want to thank you and they don't know how to thank you. But my law of karma, my inscrutable power, the law of karma is such that they will have to repay it back to you. When they have to repay it back to you, that means very simply they have to meet you in some other life. Because now you've given somebody, you don't even know who that person is. Repayment has to come, isn't it? So in some life of yours, you're going to be bhikari. Poor man. And that fellow will come and give you a food packet. That is how it works. So even if you are sattvic, same thing, formula is the same. Except in tamasic case, you are going backwards and forwards in time. And you are going to be messed up so badly that till you don't do work, till you don't lift yourself and start doing work, you are going to be all in a problem. The second person, Rajasic person, I want to do this, I want to do this, I want to do this. I want, desire. So this is what he says. My friend, my inscrutable power consisting of the gunas, 3 gunas, okay, creates through these gunas innumerable modifications and ideas relating thereto. How many ideas did I tell you just now? So many ideas, even those subject to all kinds of modification. Yet the universe is broadly speaking threefold. There are only threefold. Okay, this please understand, there is nothing beyond that. No, nothing beyond that. Sattva, Rajas, and Tamas. Now, this Sattva, Rajas, and Tamas, where is it going to take you? There he is going to speak. Yet this universe is broadly speaking threefold. One pertaining to the body, another to the gods, and the third to the creatures. One pertaining to the body. My body. I want this. 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 Got it? I want. I desire. I need. Which one? Rajasic. I. The I has come. Want is kind of a thing which you want to do. I want a good salary. I want to join a good company. When you want to join a good company, you better have good qualifications, isn't it? You better do all your PMP, this exam, that exam, all those exams you will have to give. Nowadays, there are so many online classes. Oh, I did this class, I did that class. Are you not going to do that? Yes. And that I want and I desire the money, the power, the fortune, the fame, the marriage, the children, the family, everything that you want will make you into a human being. Yes. Your desires will drive you to the human level. When you are sattvic in nature, you don't want for yourself. Do you know what the gods do? Think, I want you to think very carefully. What do the gods do? You go in front of Lakshmi. Lakshmi ji, I need some money. You go in front of Saraswati. Ma, I want education. I want to pass in my examination. You go in front of any gods. Isn't that what you are doing? Begging bowl you are doing? Huh? You are begging. Baba, Sai Baba, my examination is there. Okay, your examination is there. Very good, very good, very good. How many false promises you give in front of Sai Babas of this world, sir? I will do this if you give me this rank. I will do that if you do this for me. Forget Sai Baba. If you have a guru in front of your guru, also you give false promises. Guruji, I will do this if I get this. You please take care of my parent. Okay? When you do this, no, I will be your servant forever. Is it? Nothing happens. When you do this, when you fall down, when you are actually not doing those things, you come into the category of human beings. You will be reborn again and again. Which womb you will take, I have no clue. Depending on what karmas you have done, your wombs are absolutely fixed. Then, if you are helping other people without any sense of, I did it, then those people have to also pay you back. I was telling you, when you ask the gods, what do they do? Tathastu. Have you seen the gods are always like this? One hand like this and one hand like this. Why? They are giving you. With this hand, they will say, take, 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 take. And with this hand, where is my commission? Where is my commission? Where is my commission? All the gods work like that. They are saying, you better give me, okay. What? 10% cut? 1 kilo peda you told me, no, you please give me that. You told me that you will come and do those, all your Friday vratas, okay, for 1 whole year, please you come. How many gods and goddesses you have gone and told this nonsense? So the God's job is to give, 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 give. So now think about it. We were talking about Sattva Guna. The Sattvic people want to give 200 packets of food. I want to work so that this world will be a better place. I want to work for United Nations. I want to work for all the NGOs of this world. I want to build dams. I want to build rivers. I want to do this. I want to help the tribals. The tribals, they are really doing a fantastic job. Nobody cares for them. I have to see to it that the tribals are helped. Is that so? Yeah, that honey controversy is going on. I have to see that the tribal honey is always given. Kurg honey is the best. This honey is the best. Sundarban honey is the best. Is that so? Who has taken this? Theka liya hai? Contractor. Are you a contractor? Those poor farmers over there in Delhi, they are suffering over there. I will see to it that they get their proper thing. Okay, so you want to give. Okay, good guy. You'll go to the God's domain. Which domain? God's. And then the third kind. What is the point in doing anything? Everybody is like this only. Useless buggers. What? They will never change, What is the point? You teach them anything, they will not understand only. What is the use of teaching? They are just useless people. If I give them something, that also they will eat and then they will ask for more. And they are very krutagya. That means they are very shameless people. They don't even want to say thank you. I give them so much and yet they don't want to say thank you. I think I have done enough for this world. I just don't want to do anything at all after this. Why do I need to do? This world is a worthless place, Is that so? What are you doing? Whatever you are doing is called tamas. This activity which you are performing is called tamasic activity. You are blaming the world, you are blaming people, you are saying they are all useless, they are worthless, this, that. You are a tamasic person. You don't want to do. Wanting to do is rajasic. Don't want to do. I hate this world. This world is useless. I will just only think about myself now. After this, why do I have to give other people? That is not my job. Laziness, inertia, all this, plus all the bad words. Everything that comes from your mouth is just trashing the world. You are a tamasic person, sir. You are driven by tamas. You want to bash everybody. You want to destroy this world. You don't like everybody. That is a tamasic guna. What are you going to be born? The third is to the creatures. This is what Krishna is saying. You will be driven to the creatures. You know how the creatures live, no? All these deadly creatures, what do they do? A snake will lie in wait. Psst, he will come. Similarly, an alligator, a tiger. Have you seen in the recent times, there are lots of pictures of all those animals which are coming towards the city because they don't get food. And what are they doing? They're coming and robbing everything. Right? They are like those jackals. That is the world that you will go into. The world of creatures, driven by these three gunas. In the kind of activity that you are doing, yet the universe is broadly speaking threefold and pertaining to the body, another to the gods, and the third to the creatures. We are going to the next verse now. This is chapter 17, verse 31. The eye, the form, and the solar rays penetrating the eyeball, these depend upon one another for their manifestation. But the sun which is in the sky independently, because the Atma is the primeval cause of all these, it is distinct from them. By its self-effulgence, it is the illuminer of all those that help to manifest one another. Similarly, with reference to skin, the ear, the eye, the tongue, the nose, the mind, etc. He is given one example. The one example is of the eye. Eye sees the form and the solar rays penetrating the eyeball. This is just an understanding of how the whole thing gets created inside. This is illusory. Please understand, this is illusory. When you have the eye, the object is created. If you don't have the eye, nothing gets created. Okay, we'll do that slowly. Now let us say I am looking at an object. There is a very beautiful car. Maruti has introduced a very beautiful car, or let us take some foreign brand. And that car is standing in front of me. Ah, beautiful car. Got it? So this is how a person looks at it. The car is the object you are seeing. Because the light is falling on it, the light is reflected in your eye is interacting with it and getting an idea about this object. So because of this interaction, these ideas get created. Similarly, we go to the next one, ear. You know, Apple has introduced a new set of headphones. 55,000 rupees. Very expensive. But you see, the sound system is so beautiful. It is by artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence, the sound has been created? What are you talking about? So the sound is created like that. Artificial intelligence is there. All these things. 55,000. Yeah, I think it's okay, no? When you listen to the sound, you get completely lost, you know. You are going to wear it just for a few minutes in an entire month. I want you to think about it. It's not like a watch. It's not like a cell phone. It's a headphone. When you want to listen to good music, you will hear. In the whole year, you may hear 24 hours. 1 year later, technology changes. What changes? Technology changes. Now you hear something different. So they come up with version 2, version 3, version 4, version 5, version 6. Oh my God, so many versions. And now you're old. You know, those headphones have become old. They are not adaptable to the new music. And it doesn't have an update today. So what happened? For 24 hours of usage, you spent 55 grand. Did you get the answer? For a year, for the desire of the year, you spend that. For the desire of your eyes, you did that. Here I am talking of only men. Let me talk of women. When the women are there, Anushka, you know what sari she wore? You know, Deepika, she's wearing this sari. Very beautiful. Very beautiful sari. You know, it was designed by Sabyasachi. Oh, Sabyasachi designed it. I wish I can own that sari. So beautiful it is. So I will scroll. I have a WhatsApp group, and in that WhatsApp group, you get those saris. I go to Instagram and I see where they are available. They are available in Kalakriti, Kala Mandir, Kala this thing, Kala. Oh yeah, they are available in all these Nalli silks and this silk and that silk, Mysore silk Udyog and all that. Oh, come on, Kala Mandirs of this world. So you go over there. You know that sari which was worn by that person? I want to wear that sari. Do you have that? Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. It is available. How much is it for? Nothing, is a very cheap. It's now available for 30,000 rupees. 30,000 rupees. Ah, Ma, that sari which was worn by Deepika Padukone, that was 30 lakh rupees. 30 lakh rupees, and now he's giving for 30,000 rupees. The same sari, I tell you. So there that person was looking at a fancy car. Here the person is looking at fancy clothes. Dude, where did you get this jacket from? Oh, that is from Colombia, How much is it for? 8,990 rupees. It is at a discount. What was the original price? Nothing. It's only 12,000 bucks, 12,000 bucks, and it is now available for 8,990. That means 9,000 bucks. Oh my God. Very nice jacket, man. There you get it. So this is how the works. Then the whole idea of driven by this eyesight or by ears is like that. Everybody is done. Taste, smell, everything is like that. So he says the eye, the form, and the solar rays penetrating the eyeball, these depend upon another for their manifestation. Something manifests in you, but the sun which is in the sky exists independently. Now, here there is the understanding which you have to get. When I saw the object, what is it that manifested in me? When I saw the new car or the new bike, Enfield has come up with a fantastic bike. Is that so? Yeah. Suzuki or Honda, they have launched the latest bike. Bajaj, KTM, my God, the latest KTM bikes are there, man. You see that bike and you come up with something. And that something is called desire. The desire to own something. That day when I was going out, I saw this nice dress that was hanging over there. Dress. Desire. With the eyes, you see, the desire comes. With the ear, you hear, the desire comes. You know what she's speaking about me? Everything she's speaking is bad. Such a double-faced person. Why? I'll show her. So you heard those words, and now the desire to show that person. What are you going to show? You're just going to be another pig like her only, no? If that person is spewing venom from the mouth, you are going to spew the same. If that person is a snake, what are you? You are also equally a snake. If that person has acted badly and you have heard about it, you are also acting badly only. What are you doing? If that person behaves this way because you heard it, my friend, she was telling me how mean she is. She was telling me how ugly I started looking nowadays. I'll show her. Oh, that venom which came out from within you is telling you there is no difference between that person and you. Driven by the sound. Similarly, the nose, similarly, the mouth, similarly, the touch. Everything is the same. It depends on the manifestation. But the sun which is in the sky exists independently. Remember, the KTM bike or the fancy car or the nice sari was seen by you because of the sun. Everything was seen because of that sun. You see the sun and you actually get upset with that car, that bike, or that sari, or the person talk. Hey, this is the thing. But is the sun affected? The sun is no way affected. The sun says, I'm just giving my rays. The sun is not even interested in what you are doing. He says, I am just doing my job. I'm there in the sky. I'm just giving those rays out, and you can see what you want. You want to see the fancy car? Here, look at it. You want to see the fancy sari? Look at it. You want to see the fancy dress? Look at it. You want to see the fancy earrings and the this and that? Look at it. You want to see that fancy house which that person has built? Look at it. I don't give a damn about it. The sun is not involved in the process. He is not teaching you to become upset. The sun is not upsetting you. It is your mind which is upsetting you. It is the gunas which is there which is upsetting you. Why are you getting angry with that person? Why are you feeling that you want that thing? Why is the desire coming in you? Because you saw those things. Seeing something doesn't actually do anything. But just because you saw, the desire came into the picture. So because the Atma, now in all this, the Atma is like that. It is just showing you things, showing you the world around. But the Atma is not involved. He is not even, he's like the sun. He doesn't interact with you. He just illumines you. He just shows you things. One day, one person told me, I thought this whole world is such a beautiful place. Guruji, when you came in my life, you showed me how everybody is so bad. Everybody is so miserable. Everybody has got something hidden in them. Something bad. Well, the Guruji is like a sun. He is not saying that this is the bad person. It is your mind which sees bad. He just illumines. Illumines means gives knowledge. The job of the Guru is just to illumine you. Just to tell you, see, this is a liquor bottle. You know what happens. This is a smoke, cigarette. When you drink liquor or you smoke cigarette, what is going to happen to you? You know that very well. He just illumines you. He just tells the world, don't trust anybody. Trust only God. That is all he is showing you. He is not telling the world is bad. He is just saying, don't fall for people's the way they talk, They will be very sweet, nice to you. Oh, you're looking so beautiful. You look so nice. Khanjar. They have knives in their heart. So this is what he says. The Atma is not involved. The Guru is not like that. The God is not like that. He is just illumining it. It is distinct from all of them. All these other things, God is distinct from all these things. The Atma is distinct from it. It has self-effulgent. It has its own power of knowledge. It is the illuminer. It helps to manifest one another. It helps to show you the truth about this universe. Your job is to only see the object, not get carried away by it. Your job is to look at the liquor bottle but not drink it. Your job is to look at that smoke but not get involved in it. Don't smoke the cigarette. When somebody is saying something bad, your job is to be the illuminer, the person, the Atma inside of you. Don't get involved in that person's talk or whatever nonsense. If your father, your mother, your brother, your sister is getting angry with you or saying something bad about you, your job as an illuminer, your job as an Atma, your job as God, your job as the Guru is not to get involved in that process. You are just going to watch it. You are only the witness. That is what he says. By itself effulgence, it's the illuminer of all those that help to manifest one another. Similarly, with reference to skin, eye, ear, tongue, nose, mind. Just look at the object. Don't get involved in it. You do not have to respond to anybody. If you see a fancy car, you don't have to own it. You can look at it and say, it is beautiful. When you look at a beautiful woman over there, don't try to possess it. Look at her. Say, she looks good. If there is a beautiful flower, you just look at it and say, it's nice. If somebody is saying something bad, you don't have to get involved in that process. Just look at it and don't even say anything. Shut your mouth. When you do all these things, when the other person is bad, you don't have to become bad. You don't have to get involved in any processes. You don't have to become a Deepika Padukone just because she's buying a 25 lakh or a 30 lakh sari. Look at her. Yes, she looks beautiful. Got it? Your job is as a witness. And when you are just a witness and you don't interact with it, that illumination that happens, you are the illuminer yourself. You are the God. You are not that ordinary person. You don't have to be involved in any process. So we have come to the end of verse 31. Now, I'm taking additional 1 more minute. I will be seeing you all on 24th, most probably. So 1 week I'm not there. So in the coming week after that, I will be joining you all. So by then, I'm sure you might have thought of a lot of things. All right. Take care. Have a great day. I'll see you all later. Bye.